Right now, it is time to bring on Adam Suleiman of BetJack. BetJack is the official sportsbook of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Download the app today. They have lines for literally everything you could possibly imagine on, including will I screw up true and false next week. I'll explain what happened
I'm taking
on the
the
back
yes
end.
on
That's
that
why
one.
the odds would not be good on that. But BetJack is the sportsbook you need to download. You are silly not to. BetJack, not only the official sportsbook of Ohio, it's the official sportsbook of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Memberships, guys, we got to mention that as always. For $1.99, you get to be part of our starters tier membership. You get the loyalty badges, custom emojis, membership only perks, coaches tier, all those same starter perks. It's $4.99 a month. It's less than $60 a year. Not a lot of money. You get overtime videos, member shoutouts, discount codes. You also get to text with us during select Cavs games. Jason did it last week. He's doing it again for the game on the 15th. Should be an awesome time. I forget who the Cavs are playing that night, but they're playing somebody at home on the 15th. Jason will be back texting.
They're playing
and with that,
somebody at home.
let's welcome Adam Suleiman.
Hey,
to the
Adam,
show.
how are you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for joining us. I want to start with this because we knew when sports gambling became legal in Ohio, it would be big. But to me, it's been even bigger than I thought.
It's been massive.
Is it big, much bigger than you guys thought?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much in lines with our expectations. We thought it was going to be big, especially the retail sports books downtown Cleveland. I mean, it's been jamming down there. Really, I don't know if there's a better way to watch a game than in a sports book. I'm sure you guys have been.
It feels like Vegas.
Yeah, it's like Vegas.
It really feels like Vegas down there.
For sure, for sure.
To his point, it's eclipsed what you expected. How much of that do you think, well, it's new, it's a novelty, and are you expecting that it will eventually tail off, or do you think this is sustainable?
Yeah, I think it is sustainable. Actually, I think it grows for the next 2 years, really.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we think it hits maturity around year 2, 3, somewhere in there. I do think there's a lot of people just testing it out, right? We're seeing a lot of very, straight line bets on, hey, that's my favorite team. I just want to see them win type of thing.
Just for the action.
Yeah,
it's
but
fun.
you see a lot of that early in markets. I still think there are a lot of gamblers here in the state of Ohio that are still probably betting with the old way that they were betting on sports, and so we got to get them converted to the legal.
How do you do that? Just by getting them to experience the app and show them the different things you have?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's about product and experience, and I think customers are comfortable with what they've been doing for the last, couple decades. For those that have been betting and maybe not so.
And you don't have to worry about getting your legs broken.
For sure. We don't do
BetJack doesn't do that. They take
we
the
don't do
breaks.
that.
breaking your legs.
One question I have is, I imagine if you thought you could just saunter up Super Bowl Sunday and chill at the sports book, is it rented? Is it spoken for? Or can fans just literally show up at 6 o'clock on Sunday and watch the game there?
Yeah, come on down for sure. I mean, there certainly are parts of the sports book that are spoken for, right? There's some folks that have made reservations and they place some large wagers on the game, and so we give them some special accommodations there. But look, there's plenty of room inside our casino. You guys have been there. And the sports book is massive, right? It's probably the biggest one in the state.
Will Tyvis's $25 bet be enough for special accommodations or no?
Probably not.
I don't know. We'll step him up.
I've noticed a lot of people
Upgrade you.
at least on my Twitter following, a lot of people I know are doing a lot of parlays and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think people get so caught up in the parlays because you can win a lot of money, but they're risky. You're probably better off just making one straight. I don't know. I guess it depends. But has the parlay betting been much bigger than expected or no?
It hasn't actually.
Oh,
so
okay.
for us, we're seeing a lot of like I said, single bets, right? So I want the Browns to win. I want the Cavs to win. That's my team. I want to have a little skin in the game. We are starting to see that. It's kind of a maturing of the market, right? So folks come in and they're like, okay, I want to bet on the Cavs to win the game. It's like, I want the Cavs to win and I want the over. And it's like, I want the Cavs to win, I want the over, and I want, this player to hit, 15% of their free throws in the game, right?
Yeah.
So we're definitely seeing maturity in our customer base as they start to explore different types of markets. And for me, those parlays, especially long leg parlays, 16 leg parlays, they're like lottery tickets, right?
They really are. It's like Powerball.
I'm a fringe guy. I go to the casino and I go play blackjack. They gave me everybody gave me a free $200. I lost all them $200 on that immediately. I lost all that.
Now you're into your money.
Yeah, well, no, babe, I'm not doing that. I told you, I don't do that, sweetheart. But for y'all, when y'all doing parlays or y'all coming up with these NFL bets and some of the over-unders, is y'all just sitting there in a group tank? Do you got like 5 dudes or who's putting in on these wagers? How y'all coming up with this?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a kind of a small army of, we call them traders, right? So these are the folks that put the markets together for us, and they're all over the world, actually. We've got folks in Europe, we've got folks in the U.S., we have folks in Manila, and they kind of put all these markets together. They determine the probability of the outcomes, and that's how we set the lines. And some of it's using ML and AI, right? And so these big heavy models that determine what the probability of an outcome is. And some of it is just guys sitting in a room saying, hey, you know what? We'd like to put, like we just launched an Ohio special, right? So we're the only company that's based in Ohio, so we like to build these bets that are specific to Ohio customers,
fun.
Right?
Yeah.
So we just built one called the Ohio MVP, right? And if the MVP of the Super Bowl is from Ohio, then you win this bet, right? And so it's 12-1. There's some the Kelsey brothers are in there. You got Frank Clark, which he could have himself a game. We got a punter, but
rarely does a punter win the MVP of the Super Bowl.
I mean, he's gonna have to do something pretty special.
Adam,
But
speaking of the MVP, I correct. What are the Chiefs on the money line right now?
That's it's a good question. I didn't look today, but it's
but they were like
it's
plus
a tight game.
105 maybe.
Yeah.
And I think Patrick Mahomes was like plus 135 maybe to win the MVP. To me, it would make sense. I would just bet Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP because if the Chiefs win, he's probably going to win the MVP.
Right.
So why are you seeing a lot of people betting that instead of betting the Chiefs money line are betting Mahomes MVP, or are you not seeing that?
No,
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does make sense. And we're actually seeing a pretty even mix, right? I mean, I think most customers get I want the Chiefs to win, right? I got that. That's pretty straightforward. Once you start getting into the MVP bets, the number of customers that'll bet that type of drops off. But I think customers in Ohio aren't as price sensitive now as they will be probably in 2 months, 3 months from now. So they're not looking at like you or hey, what's the plus money on this? Right. They're doing it to enjoy themselves and to have a little more action in the game, and I think that's probably the right approach for a new market.
I should take it back to the basics because I'm saying plus 135, and half our audience doesn't even know what that means. Can you explain that to the ladies?
Yeah, sure. So plus 135, that means you bet $100 and you get 135. You win $135. So that's all that means, right?
Right.
And when you get into negative money, right? So a negative 110. You'd have to bet $110 to win 100. So that's all that means. And folks in Europe are like, you guys are crazy, right? They have different odds. They have their odds set up differently in Europe. They're like, man, that is confusing for us. And then we look at European odds and we're like, man, that's confusing to us.
That is rocket science.
Baseball and with basketball and football, it's really about the point spreads.
Sure.
But with baseball, there really isn't point. I mean, are there? I can't. I've always betted on and like you have a great pitcher going, they could be minus 250, minus 350.
Pitcher
whatever.
makes all the difference in the world in the MLB. Yeah, and the run total is a big bet for MLB as well.
Right.
But look, right now it's all about basketball and certainly the big game this Sunday.
Yeah.
The prop bets are fun, and I've always wondered about this. I've never talked to anybody from a casino on this. They always throw a line down for the over-under on the length of the national anthem.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still doing that. Yeah. But that's always surprised me because that's recorded.
For sure.
So there's an answer to that, a knowable answer before the bet is placed. How do you avoid, say, the Fox audio person recording and running audio for the national anthem recorded version and then saying, oh, it was 158, what's the over?
Jay, they break legs over there.
I wondered this. I wondered if I'm doing that, I almost say we have to record 5 different versions, all different lengths.
Well, but it's not just that. There's you can bet on the Gatorade flavor. These things are known too.
Yeah, you can control that so much, but that is a fixed,
what the singer's going to wear.
Knowable.
I'm interested.
So our regulator in Ohio has said those bets are not allowed. So in Ohio, and there's other jurisdictions in the U.S. that have done this too, the bet has to be something that's settled on the field of play, right? It has to be part of the competition. The coin toss, we can't do that one either.
Really?
Yeah, because
it's 50-50?
It's really not a sport, right? The coin toss itself is not the sport. The game is the sport. And so Ohio's not the only jurisdiction like that. Some jurisdictions do take bets on the color of the Gatorade and who's going to win the Bachelorette.
So yours
we
are
don't
all
do that
game
stuff.
related.
It's game related.
Will Travis Kelce have over 7 catches?
That's right.
Yeah, and the cross sport ones, which can be fun with the Super Bowl. You guys have some good ones there.
Yeah, give me an example of what you're referring to.
Well, I mean, like who's going to have? Will Patrick Mahomes throw more touchdowns than some player on the Blue Jackets
Eagles
scores
outscore
goals.
Joel Embiid if the
Right,
Sixers
something
have a game
like
that
that.
night.
Yeah.
You know,
those are cool. We don't put them in ours,
Okay.
and we've not really seen demand for them, frankly.
Yeah.
Like we've done specials like that, like cross-sport specials where we
Right.
actually build a bet to do that very thing. Like we recently had a tie-in between the Cincinnati Bengals game and a Cavaliers game that was happening
Right.
right around the same time, and so we tied those two together. Some customers like it, right? You got to really love both of those teams to go after something like that.
I would think with like a Browns and an Indians game on a Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe you could do something like that. Do you have? I worked with a guy at ESPN who was a researcher, and his background was one of the casinos.
Okay.
So he was so analytic, which was why he was perfect for research at ESPN.
Yeah.
But I was fascinated that he worked there, and I used to have countless conversations with him about just how precise all of this is. And his advice to me was, don't bet. You can't beat us. We're smarter than you. And I go, okay, you're smarter than the average fan, but if you're figuring this stuff out, others can too.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, look, I certainly don't claim to be smarter than our customers, that's for sure. And we get beat every single day. Every single day I see bets come through and we're like, man, that guy crushed us. And
Are you allowed to talk about the value of bets? Like, what's the biggest bet that's been placed there so far?
Yeah, we don't really
don't
like
do
to
that.
go into that. Yeah.
I'd love to. Like some cat walk in and say, give me $1 million.
As long as you're betting within your means, it's fine.
Sure, it is. No, it is.
Within your means.
You want to know that too, Tyvis.
I do want to know. That's a good question.
He gave y'all that corporate look here.
Nah, we can't do that.
Or I could tell you, but I'd have to break your leg.
Right.
Well, if y'all getting into prop betting, will y'all sponsor the True or False? You know, I'm like the heavy favorite to win.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure my odds would be pretty low.
Yeah, I think we could do that for sure.
See that?
Yeah, we could do that. We could put a line out
There
there
can't
for
be the
that.
shenanigans going on like we have
We don't
today.
even
No,
we
listen.
don't even know for ourselves.
Listen.
Me!
We have come back. The three of us have concluded
We don't want to hear about it from you guys.
that
anymore.
we are going to hammer down the rules of true and false. We will get with BetJack. We'll set lines.
Okay.
We'll put it out on
That's
YouTube,
great.
and we will make sure the production of this is at an all-time high. I'm very distracted today, for the record.
Yeah,
I got something
know.
big going on
You're
tonight.
doing your comedy set
and
tonight.
we had a DD on. We were looking at an extra screen.
That should be
crazy.
That should be the bet right
How
now.
many
How
tomatoes?
many tomatoes is
does
thrown in
McNuggets take down during his comedy debut?
I'm curious, what are future? Are people betting a lot of futures like on the
yeah.
Guardians, even on the Browns for next year? Can you do that
For
already?
sure, yeah. The Brown, yeah, you can bet the Browns. Cincinnati might be a better take for
Can
right
you
now.
bet on Kyle McCord winning the Heisman for Ohio State?
You can bet future Heisman winners for sure. Yep, you can
What about
definitely
this?
do that.
'Cause I have a hunch here, guys. Spoil it right now. I think Jason Kelsey's going to catch a touchdown in this game.
Who?
The odds of that are
Yep.
probably pretty long.
The center.
Nope, they are. They're extremely long. But I want to place a bet on that. And here's
Yeah.
why. First of all, when Philly won its last Super Bowl in Minneapolis, they beat the Patriots. What was the play? Everyone was
Philly
talking about
special.
Philly special.
Can a center catch a
And
pass?
no, he can't. But it doesn't mean he can't line up as a tight end and goal line.
Well, then there's high alerts. He has a defender. I'm like, why is he doing that?
Yeah, exactly. So you still got to stop it. Like Mike Vrabel, when Mike
trust-
Vrabel was
trust-
in the game, everybody knew, they're going to throw this ball to
Well,
Mike
no,
Vrabel.
it was 50-50 because they were actually running the
Yeah.
ball on the goal
Yeah,
line.
but when
as well.
Vrabel was in, it was an inordinate, his touchdown per
he got
play
10
ratio.
touchdown catches,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, and
So
he
you
didn't
think-
line up very
What are
often.
the odds of that? Do we know? Do you know that?
I don't know the odds. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a very obscure market you just
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
up.
It is.
I'm sure we have it, but yeah, it's going to be very
Because
long
how
odds.
cool would it be if Travis and Jason both catch a touchdown?
Unlike-
Or maybe score a touchdown. Maybe they
Yeah.
line them up as, the up back in a goal line,
That
and they
ain't
give
I
it
don't
to
see
him.
it.
If y'all want to lose y'all money, go ahead.
Yeah,
Put that on that.
Hey, the fridge scored a touchdown.
At the
Adam,
end of
do
the
you
day,
guys
it's
have-
about winning the
Do
game.
you guys have a breakdown
first.
of geographically in the state, like where the most?
Sure. Oh yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're based here in Cleveland, so
Sure.
the majority of our customers are in the Cleveland market, but we certainly have a robust following down in Cincinnati and Columbus as well. And
Yeah.
and we had casinos all around the state for a while
Right.
there. We had one in Cincinnati, so we have a lot of customers that remember us and remember
Right.
our brand and are doing business with us again. We also had a property in Detroit, so we had a lot of folks from Toledo that were very familiar
Right.
with us. So Toledo's been good for us, but Cleveland is our home.
Are you seeing that your most of the action is on the app?
Oh yeah, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
the in-person isn't as big a piece of it. Does that line up with what other states are doing too? 'Cause
Yeah.
the mobile is so easy.
It is. It really is easy. And, I think the beauty about mobile is that you can kind of take your time to make your bet. I think there's still a lot of customers in the state of Ohio that are maybe a little intimidated to walk up to the counter and place a bet, which they don't have to be. Like our cashiers are very patient, right? Because we know customers have not been doing this for very long.
Right,
and
yeah.
so, but yeah, certainly the mobile app is going to be the majority of the revenue that's
What about
generated.
in-house traffic since Jan 1?
It's been great. Yeah.
Is it doubled? Is it up 50%?
Yeah, I mean,
those numbers?
we've certainly seen traffic go up probably 25 to 30%.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of it helps with the home schedule, right? You've got home Cavs. We had the Browns at home that opening weekend, which was bananas. And so, that's really helped us a lot. And I think at the end of the day, customers were just excited to get sports betting live. And so we've had a lot of customers just come down and visit the sports book and either not place a bet at all or just place a bet for $5 just because they've never placed a bet on a sports book.
Just for the fun of it.
We missed some, guys. We ain't talked about March Madness. Do you have anything planned
that's
for
gonna
the
be
tournament?
nuts.
That has to be pretty nice.
Well, it's going to be
that first week.
It's going to be a big party for sure, right? I mean, Super Bowl's huge. March Madness is massive, and in net, right across the spectrum of a year, basketball generates more revenue in sports betting than the NFL does, right? So a lot of people
College or NBA or all together? you mean?
all together. In fact, actually, just
That's
NBA
surprising
alone
to me.
outpaces NFL.
Is that just because there's more inventory?
Just more games?
There's
Yeah,
more
right.
games.
Yeah, that's right. And it goes on for a longer period of time.
Sure,
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, we certainly expect March Madness to be exciting, right? Our goal when we built the place was to build an environment that's Vegas light, and I feel like we've certainly accomplished that with our properties.
One of the pieces that had a lot of folks worried in the state was that people are going to get in over their head. They're going to do things that they're going to bet money that they don't have to lose. Talk about some of the tools that you guys have on your app that are sort of parameters. They're gutter bumpers to keep people from going in the gutter.
Yeah, I mean, it's an important topic that you bring up, and so we deployed within our product a couple of features that allow customers to limit their activity on the product, right? So
And you set your own limits.
You can set your own limits. Yeah, that's exactly right. So you set how much you want to be able to deposit every week, every month. How much time you want to spend in the product. You can set all kinds of different limits that, look, if you feel like you have a propensity to sit on that app and just hammer away on live bets and you don't want to do that, right? There are customers that want to do that and they're totally within their means, and that's fine. But there are other customers that recognize, like, hey, this could get away from me, and so so we allow them to set limits for themselves.
That reminds me, you doing. That's like you going to one of those cash to payday
Mid-30s.
loans joints, and they tell you you've been to another payday loan place. You can't get any more money. I'm thinking like they on the app, like, nah, bro, you spent $2,000. You only make $1,500 a month. You part-time.
You're out.
Yeah, and there are a lot of good resources in the state for folks that actually do experience problem gambling, and it is relatively rare in the grand scheme of the population.
Right.
But it does happen, and for folks that are in that boat, we certainly want to be able to provide them the resources.
It's always
that they
Bull's
need.
message, but bet what you can afford to
it
lose.
does.
But you know what?
And that's
Yeah.
it.
I believe in personal responsibility.
Sure.
And I've always believed that even though gambling or drugs or alcohol, whatever, can be dangerous for some people, that we have to have personal responsibility as a society, and we shouldn't make laws to outlaw it, in my opinion. And I think it was long overdue that sports gambling became legal in the state, and I'm glad it's going on. And I'm glad because people were doing it anyway.
For sure.
Now they can do it in a safe environment where they don't have to worry about getting in trouble.
2/3 of the states have it.
Yes.
Where, once upon a time, you had to go to Vegas or you had to go to Atlantic City.
And that was it.
And now, I imagine that Vegas is...
They must be losing money.
I would think that they would be because the market now is split 33 ways.
Yeah, you might be right. I would actually... My gut instinct is that we've actually grown the market of people that bet on sports, right?
True.
Because the reality is if you wanted to bet on sports in Ohio before January 1st, you kind of had to jump through some hoops, and you probably had to do some things that most people would be uncomfortable with, right?
True,
because it
that's
was
true.
illegal. You were literally breaking the law,
Right?
And you're probably dealing with folks that maybe you wouldn't want to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And now that it's
Break your leg.
I mean, I don't know if that was happening, but certainly it's.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard it did once or twice. Another has something for you, Adam. What do you have?
I just want to say thank you for coming in, Adam. BetJack has been an awesome sponsor with us as we go through, and hopefully we can work on some UCSS specific lines. Maybe not on the actual app. I don't know if people want to really bet on us, but we'd love to have some props to incorporate in some of our games here.
Hey,
That'd
anything
make it
we
even
can do
more
to
fun.
support the show, we're happy to.
Thank you.
That's great. Adam, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And if you haven't been to the actual facility, the downtown space, go. The atmosphere. When I heard that they wanted to make it Vegas-like, I said, well, I want a pony for Christmas. And I just didn't think it was doable. But you guys hit the mark. When you're there,
thank you.
You don't know that you're not in the desert in Nevada. It's really, really special.
The energy's
if you haven't been,
great.
go check it out. And
it's right next to Hilarities, by the way.
It is,
tonight
which is our comedy show. Oh, by the way, ignore that picture of G. Bush that they have when you come into BetJack at all the entries. Ignore that. They like him.
Yeah, see, we all good, man. Don't profile me. I'm in here.